Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Anita Lee. It's good to have you with us. Coming up, TIMA volunteers in the Philippines joined hands with TIMA Singapore to hold a large-scale free clinic for residents of Tacloban. The Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter hosted a 2-day training for teachers to help them rekindle their passion for teaching. 2 Nepalese volunteers joined Jing Si Abode Dharma Masters in making blessing and wisdom red envelopes for Nepal. To safeguard the health of residents, TIMA volunteers in the Philippines and TIMA Singapore are holding a 3-day large-scale free clinic at the Leyte Progressive High School in Tacloban. Before we join the free clinic, however, let's take a look at how the volunteers work together to prepare for this event.
Although Tzu Chi's large-scale free clinic in Tacloban, the Philippines, has yet to start, many residents have arrived from far and wide to seek help.
5-6千块 peso
他们去看医生可以付得起的吗？
没有可能性，费用差不多是7万8万，他们根本没有办法付这个医药。
This time, the free clinic will be held at the Leyte Progressive High School in Tacloban. Most of the nearby residents live in illegal housing with poor sanitation.
These homes took about a year or 2 years to build. When Typhoon Haiyan struck, however, all the homes were completely destroyed.
The 3-day free clinic will be organized at 2 different locations, offering medical services from 7 different departments.
We need to wipe all the windows and disinfect the floors. Although we are holding the free clinic inside classrooms, we still need to make sure the space is clean and germ-free.
As classrooms will be used as surgical rooms, Tzu Chi volunteers mobilize to clean and disinfect every corner and edge.
Patients will be undergoing surgery here, so we need to make sure that we can provide them with a clean and hygienic environment. This will make patients more at ease when receiving their treatment.
To ensure patient safety and the smooth running at the upcoming free clinic, Tzu Chi volunteers equip the venue with running water and power generators.
We don't know if the power supply here is stable enough, so we decided to use our own power generators.
Starting from October 22nd, TIMA members will be offering their expertise to alleviate pain and suffering in Tacloban. Walking slowly with the help of a cane is 35-year-old Barda, who accidentally burnt himself from the neck down while welding motorcycle parts 5 years ago. Without the means to seek treatment, Barda can only rely on folk medicine.
No more. Kasi no financial. Guaba.
His skin and flesh are tightly joined because of his burn accident. The first thing we want to do is separate his skin and flesh. The surgery is not that complicated because most of his wounds are on his legs. The procedure would be a lot harder if the injuries were on his neck or throat.
Among the residents seeking help is Ru Ipa, whose son Peter suffers from facial deformity.
My son looks like this because of meningitis. He talks with a sharp voice whenever he is emotional.
Following assessment, doctors decided to transfer Peter to a larger hospital for further medical examination. A former Tzu Chi recipient seized this opportunity to introduce Tzu Chi's philosophy to those waiting for their turn to receive medical services. Today, many former recipients, including 12 local Chinese entrepreneurs, have been transformed from receivers to givers by volunteering alongside TIMA doctors.
Many people don't have the money to see a doctor. Today, they can finally get their problems checked by TIMA doctors. We are very happy to have this chance to help our fellow countrymen.
Despite the long hour and hard work, TIMA members and Tzu Chi volunteers still give it their all because they want these residents to know that Tzu Chi's love has never left Tacloban.
As the Tzu Chi Syrian refugee relief team continue to carry out home visitations in Istanbul, Turkey, they recently came across Suhaila's family of 4 who arrived in the country after the Syrian civil war broke out. Originally a middle-income family back in Syria, they now have a hard time making ends meet. Her 19-year-old son is also having to work to support the family and is unable to continue with his education. Suhaila hopes that Tzu Chi can somehow help her eldest son continue with his education.
Heyecandan geç yattım. Saat 3'te falan yattım. Çok heyecanlıydım. Sabah okula gideceğim diye. Kahvaltı bile yapamadım.
Inside the Menahai Primary and Secondary School, Syrian refugee children get to continue their education. They have smiles on their faces, as if they have found a wellspring in the desert. Older Syrian children, however, can only continue to work for the survival of their families. 40-year-old Suhaila shows the visiting Tzu Chi volunteers the book bag her eldest son guarded with his life as they fled Syria.
When they ran from home, he took nothing but this bag. The books inside are really heavy. This is physics and this is 12th grade Arabic.
Suhaila cries because her son's pursuit of an education has been interrupted. She also hopes they can get a second set of clothes to wear. Just as Tzu Chi has provided Adham, who suffers from polio, with an electric wheelchair, it will also do what it can for Suhaila and other Syrian refugees.
He wrote, "In the name of all compassionate Allah, I thank you all for your efforts in helping us return our lives to normal and giving our children a life that they should be living. May Allah watch over all of you."
Refugees living in foreign countries need to adapt to new cultures and lifestyles, and education for refugee children is a key issue that deserves much attention. The Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter in Malaysia plans to improve the quality of education in refugee schools. As a first step, they organized a 2-day training for teachers from these schools to rekindle their passion for teaching.
14 teachers from 3 different schools for refugee children gather in Pahang for a 2-day training. Through interactive activities, these teachers are reminded of the importance of group solidarity in education.
We gave up earlier because the thing got torn off into 2. Then we tried again, but actually it's teamwork. Teamwork, the cooperation, you can really do anything you want to do.
After teaching the same curriculum for years at schools for refugee children, these teachers have long forgotten their love for teaching. These interactive courses help teachers rediscover their passion.
You step on the wet mat, you feel the water. Walk straight now, mind.
Even though I've been guided yesterday, still I feel like I will fall down, something will happen to me. Even if some people who won't be today, you need to worry, we are here. How about this?
With all the teachers moved and touched, this training has allowed teachers and volunteers to bond, laying the groundwork for future cooperation.
We really hope that every teacher, if you know your special mission for those special kids, and really take care of them. They are really worth us to pay more love to them.
I'm really hopeful that when I go back to my teaching, it will be as a better person, and with a lot of, I will bring out my potential even more.
At the end of the training, teachers return to their respective schools with the hope of bettering the education system for refugee children who are far away from their home countries.
Naraja Ayad is a dialysis patient living in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. 3 times a week, he is required to undergo treatment at the Tzu Chi Dialysis Center. Suffering excruciating pain and agony, there was a time when Ayad wanted to end his life. Fortunately, with the help and support of Tzu Chi volunteers, he has learned to embrace life with courage and optimism.
In the wee hours of the morning, while everyone is still asleep, Vijaya Kumari comes to her husband's bedside to wake him up for his dialysis treatment. Long-term complications resulting from dialysis treatments, coupled with blood vessel blockages in the heart, has made the simple task of walking difficult for 55-year-old patient Naraya Ayard.
His doctor said that long-term dialysis treatments have caused bone lesions, making the simple task of getting out of bed difficult. Before, he was able to get up and shower, but now he can't.
Since his wife cannot drive and they live on a 5th-floor walk-up with no elevator, each time it takes Ayard 10 minutes to just inch his way downstairs. This arduous challenge has once made him skip dialysis treatments for 7 days in a row.
I cried. Whether you believe it or not, I really cried. I wouldn't be here without their help. How would I be able to go downstairs? I really can't, and I have no other family.
Understanding Ayard's hardship, Tzu Chi volunteers not only help foot the medical bill, but they also accompany him to all his dialysis treatments.
3 days every week we have 2 shifts. The morning shift starts at 5 a.m. and the second shift at 10 a.m. This is how we help him.
We have to arrive at 5 a.m. and carry him down, which is very tiring. However, seeing how difficult it is for Naraya, we are all happy to help in a small way.
Setting out at the crack of dawn, Ayard hopes to be the first to arrive at the dialysis center. Besides financial support, Tzu Chi volunteers also accompany him during his 4-hour treatment, making time pass faster and the difficult process much easier.
At the Batang Kali Chinese Elementary School in Selangor, Malaysia, Jing Si aphorisms have long been shared as a way to nurture proper etiquette and moral education in students. What's more, in celebration of the upcoming Children's Day, teachers also engage students in activities to help them better understand the values of Tzu Chi. We copy this aphorism so we can learn to be tolerant. If we can do that, we'll show it to the principal and tell her we have done that.
It is the school principal's hope that the aphorisms, which can be seen everywhere in school, can inspire not only the students, but also the teachers.
As a school principal, I hope that I can start by inspiring a few teachers to make a difference. Hopefully they can inspire even more teachers and provide the students with love and care.
Apart from inspiring students with Jing Si aphorisms, the school also organized interactive activities for students to learn to cherish what they have.
There are many schools in Malaysia, but I like this school better because it's more disciplined.
I think the Jing Si aphorisms is really beneficial for the kids. For example, they've learned how to respect people and be a good son and daughter at home. Before, my kids would sometimes refuse to lend a hand when I needed it. But after coming across Jing Si aphorisms, they're happy to help me out.
With the school's efforts and parent support, a promising future lies ahead for the students.
The Pandandah Education Center in Malaysia has made every Wednesday its recycling day. Tzu Chi volunteers lead parents, teachers and students to sort and recycle reusable resources, instilling in students and parents the value of conservation and waste reduction.
Students arrive at the Pandandah Daai Education Center in Malaysia with bags of recyclables. Every Wednesday is the school's recycling day. Parents drop off their children a little earlier so that they may take part in the school's recycling efforts.
Parents are mostly in charge of collecting recyclables. A month ago, we came up with this idea to give parents the opportunity to recycle with their children. After parents drop off their children, there is still some time before they need to go to work. Many could take advantage of this time to help with recycling.
Parents, teachers, and students work side by side to make recycling a school-wide effort.
After our children started attending school here, we came to understand more about environmental protection. Our children really like it here, and we adults do too, because we all have learned a lot.
Some families have already made recycling a part of their household routines, with both parents and children working together to protect our planet.
In fact, recycling is an important habit in our household. In our community, we also participate in Tzu Chi recycling events. The school has also spoken to parents about taking part in the recycling efforts with our children.
This week, Recycling Day has added a new meaning to recycling for parents, teachers, and students alike.
Among the 21 schools that the Tzu Chi Foundation is rebuilding is Yuli Junior High School in Hualien County, Taiwan. To express their thanks to Tzu Chi for reaching out with a helping hand, students and faculty recently held a gratitude event on campus.
To say goodbye to their own activity center, students and teachers at the Yuli Junior High School put together a gratitude event on campus.
非常感谢慈济基金会援建我们学校的活动中心，所以这个感恩卡是由我们学生及校长来代表致赠给我们慈济基金会。
Yuli Junior High School students and faculty expressed their deepest gratitude to the organization through thank you cards.
I am extremely moved because Tzu Chi reached out with a helping hand. Now we'll be able to have a new gymnasium.
To thank Tzu Chi for its assistance, Zhu Weishan, the flutist in the school's orchestra, and her peers put on an instrumental performance.
We're among the students who will be using the building, so we need to be grateful. We're not professional musicians, but all of us just want to try our best to thank Tzu Chi.
Yuli Junior High School alumni, including Tzu Chi volunteer Huang Liyun, also put on a sign language performance to show their appreciation and gratitude to the organization.
It is great that Tzu Chi is building a new and sturdy gymnasium for students of the Yuli Junior High School.
As the school's activity center has been used for more than 30 years, it is unable to withstand further earthquakes. To ensure student safety, on August 31st, 2015, the Tzu Chi Foundation officially torn down the building.
I was a bit sad when the building was torn down, but I know we'll have a better and safer building in the near future. Our students will have a safe and happy environment to use.
Thanks to Tzu Chi's efforts, students and faculty at the Yuli Junior High School will have a safer place to exercise in the near future.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Taiwan have begun assembling Blessing and Wisdom Red envelopes to be handed out as gifts during year-end blessing ceremonies. We now join the efforts in northern and eastern Taiwan.
And these 3 points as you prefer.
Mounting Nepalese coins, Nepalese doctor Nurdesh Shakia and volunteer Suman Prajapati